See, as a kid, I knew that Coraline was dark, but as an adult, now I can actually explain it. Let me break it down. So the movie begins with Coraline and her family moving into a new home. Now, visually, here's what's important. Notice how everything around Coraline is gray, dull, basically lifeless, but she's the only one in color. See, the issue isn't the world, it's Coraline's heart. See, Ecclesiastes 6 verse 9, it says, "Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is vanity and vexation of spirit." See, this verse is low-key the entire premise of the film. See, Coraline, she calls everything boring and ugly and really just not enough, right? So this would be discontentment. And discontentment is always at the start of deception. Then we see Coraline performing a ritual with something she calls a magic dowsing rod, claiming that it'll show her the way.
Magic dowser, show me the well!
See, that's divination or witchcraft. And YB, he confirms it.
I heard about water witching before, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just an ordinary branch.
See, water witching, right? Like, come on. Like, this is literally showing us that she's being led spiritually, just not by God. Now, at the house, Coraline keeps trying to get the attention of her parents, right? But they're busy working. So at first, it may seem like they're neglecting her.
I almost fell down a well yesterday, Mom.
Uh-huh.
I would have died.
That's nice.
But in reality, Coraline's just selfish. She lacks perspective and is unable to see anything in the world that doesn't revolve around her.
But then we had the accident.
It wasn't my fault you hit that truck.
I never said it was.
Then YB shows up to the house with a doll that his grandma made, and the doll just happens to look exactly like Coraline.
Huh. A little me?
And this is where everything starts. See, later we find out that the doll was actually used to spy on Coraline. It's basically like a monitoring spirit, or kind of like a counterfeit all-seeing eye. Now, this causes Coraline to stumble across a secret door hidden in the house. She begs her mom to open it. Her mom opens it, and she goes inside and discovers a whole nother world.
Mom? What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
The moment she enters, she's given everything she wants, right? Her parents love her and they give her attention. She has all the food she can eat. And on top of that, the world is colorful and bright.
This chicken is good.
Hungry, aren't you?
Then we meet a man named Mr. Bobinski. And listen to what he tells Coraline here.
The mice asked me to give you message. They are saying, do not go through little door.
See, the creation is literally warning her. The mice, right, telling her not to go in the hole. See, this is just like Balaam's donkey in Numbers chapter 22. But see, when you want the illusion bad enough, you will always ignore the warning. Then she meets these two women who are her neighbors, right? In my opinion, I think they're witches, but it's never confirmed. Now, regardless, they drink tea with Coraline, and they tell Coraline that they can actually read the tea leaves.
Read what?
Oh, your tea leaves, dear. They'll tell me your future.
That's divination again. Now, notice the hat she's wearing, right? The one eye on top. Like, come on, bro. They don't even hide the symbolism in this movie.
Oh, Caroline. Caroline, Caroline, Caroline.
Then we meet the black cat. Now, in a cult, they believe that black cats represent spiritual discernment, right? They can walk between worlds and see things that others cannot. That is exactly what this cat is doing. He exposes the truth.
You probably think this world is a dream come true, but you're wrong.
Then we learn about Other Mother's real plan.
No way! You're not sewing buttons in my eyes!
Oh, but we need a yes if you want to stay here.
See, Coraline sewing the buttons over her eyes would be a covenant. If you look at Matthew chapter 6, verse 22, it says, "The light of the body is thine eye. Therefore, if thine one eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." See, the other mother's basically asking Coraline to surrender her identity, her soul, and her spiritual sight.
Soon you'll see things our way.
See, Other Mother created the world not to impress Coraline, but to consume her. She even goes to say that even the proudest of spirits can be broken with love. That's straight up emotional witchcraft.
She only made what she knew would impress you.
Now Coraline resists. The other mother isn't happy, so she takes Coraline and banishes her into like this secret room.
You may come out when you've learned to be a loving daughter.
And there, Coraline sees these 3 ghosts, which actually reveal the truth to her.
She spied on our lives through the little doll's eyes
and saw that we weren't happy.
They tell her about the doll and how the doll was used to spy on her and see everything that she didn't like in the world so that mother could create a new world with everything that she did like. And they also explained to her that in order for them to be free, the other mother captured their eyes and hid them all throughout the house. So now Coraline has to find those eyes.
Perhaps if you do win your escape, you could find our eyes.
So now Coraline, she escapes the room she was banished in, and she gets back to the real world. Now in the real world, she goes to those 2 women again and asks them for guidance. So now they give her some taffy, and look at the numbers of where they pulled this taffy from.
We know just what you need. Miriam!
The numbers 1921 are not random. If you look at Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21, it says, "There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand." See, Coraline is seeking counsel, just not from the Lord, from these witches. And take a look at what they actually give her.
There you go, sweetie.
They're good for lost things.
It's bad things, Miriam.
Like a triangle that goes over the eye. Like, bro, the symbolism in this movie is clear as day, bro. But anyway, Coraline, she goes back to Other Mother's house to start looking for these eyes. And as she finds each one, the illusion starts to crack. That's because in order for illusion to work, it requires agreement.
Hurry on, girl. Her web is unwinding.
Then Other Mother transforms into her true form, which is kind of like a mantis spider hybrid. But really, this is just to show you that she was never a nurturing mother to begin with. She was a predator, a devourer.
So, where are they? The ghost eyes.
So now the cat scratches out Other Mother's eyes, and they basically trap her in their own web. So now in an effort to keep her closed, look at where Coraline gets her help from.
Please shut it down!
So now Coraline returns home, and when she gets home, nothing externally has really changed. It's just her that's changed. See, now everything is colorful, and she's actually grateful for what she has.
You were right, Coraline. I really hate dirt. But the tulips look nice.
Romans 12 verse 2, it says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." See, it required Coraline to be given everything that she wanted to realize that it's meaningless. And everything she has is everything she needs.
I'm Coraline Jones. I've got so much to tell you.
Here.
See, the main message of this movie is basically this, right? Every single occult system promises a colorful world where you are at the center of it. But what it requires is your sight, your identity, and your soul. See, Coraline shows you what happens when you fight back against the illusion and you choose the life that God already gave you. Follow Godinfilm for more.